home to develop the themes, and then Kate went into Abbey Road Studio number 2, that's the one where the Beatles recorded, and she put down the final version. With her went Stuart Elliott on drums, John Giblin on bass, and engineer John Kelly, who'd worked on Kate's previous sessions and was now called upon to co-produce and translate the sounds that Kate heard into her head into the interpretation of sounds onto the tape.
She couldn't have made a worse move. She sent him letters, and he received them with strange delight. Just like his wife, but how she was before the tears, and how she was before the years flew by, and how she was when she was beautiful. She signed the letter on. Babooshka, 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 yeah, yeah. All yours, babooshka, 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 yeah, yeah. She wanted to take it further, so she arranged a place to go, to see if he would fall for her incognito. When he laid eyes on her, he got the feeling that he knew her well. Uncanny how she can take him back to a piece of past, can say the things that make you want to laugh, just like his wife before she freezed on him, just like his wife when she was beautiful. He shouted out, I'm all yours, babooshka, 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 yeah, yeah. All yours, babooshka, 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 yeah, yeah.
Really, the problem with the song was leaving the verses free enough for the rhythm to move around. I think you can hear from the demo where the rhythm box was introduced how it changed the structure of the phrasing, the lyrical phrasing, and that's very important. So what happened was we in fact left the verse as free from rhythm as we could, and at one point we had finger clicks that kept the rhythm going, but we felt it was just too corny, so we just let that free, and it just took off. The whole song became the way it should be, John really holding it together with this lovely melody on the fretless bass.
And the electronics are coming in. First of all, the rhythm box on that second demo, which vastly improved it from the first one. And it's around the same time that Kate discovered a new synthesizer called the Fairlight. And this is a revolutionary computerized synthesizer. It can record any noise, whether it be human or inanimate, and then play it back in tune. And so in the case of Babooshka, this was the glass and the crockery smashing, the good bit at the end. This was representing an irate wife who was smashing up a restaurant at the song's finale.
Richard Burgess of Landscape was at that time demonstrating the Fairlight and taking it round to studios, and I hired it in for the day and just decided that it had to go all over the album because it was so incredible. And this is where we got the sound of breaking glass and breaking crockery, and what we did was we got a selection of glasses and plates from the canteen and set a mic up and just dropped the lot on the floor, at the same time sampling it onto the Fairlight. And when we got a good sample, again obviously you could just play the breaking crockery musically and in time with the song, which was what we did, and that's what you hear at the end of the song, the restaurant being thrown at the naughty husband.
As we came from the first through the second to the final stages of that song, the level of electronics actually got greater and greater, but then you had to listen for it. It's all clever stuff. Babooshka from Kate Bush. Nearly 2 years old now, that record. The story of Sat in Your Lap is a slightly more romantic one, though. It was inspired by a Stevie Wonder gig at Wembley that Kate attended, and the next day she wrote the song.
I was so knocked out by the whole energy of the place, and just the fact that the guy was creating so much love in a concert hall, because normally it's aggression or just, yeah, but it's never really love. And it was really an incredible experience to be one of all these people who is just really in love with the guy and his music. And I came down to our home studio the next day, just got a rhythm on the rhythm box and wrote the song. I mean, it was that instant.
The first demo, Sat in Your Lap. Rather like that. This was Kate Bush expanding her approach again. She was thinking more about the production stages and what she wanted the record to sound like.
It felt important that the demo of Sat in Your Lap should say a lot about how I actually wanted the finished version. So I made sure that the rhythm box was more or less the right tempo, and that the vocal arrangements and the brass arrangements would be how I wanted them. So although that much time wasn't spent on actually making the demo, the really essential points are there. And in a way, I feel that the first demo has got the strongest vibe, apart from the actual recording that we did in the townhouse.
Tend to agree with her as well. But once again, Kate conducted a second demo stage at home, this time with the musicians, and she explains why.
Again, because I was producing, I wanted to make sure that not much time was spent in the studio rehearsing, but that it was done outside, obviously, because it's much cheaper and everyone's a lot calmer. We had a few problems with the drummer to start with, because I really didn't want any cymbals or hi-hat to be used in the kit at all. I wanted him to just use toms and bass drum. It's very hard for a drummer who's really used to hitting his cymbal, you know, pish, pish, everywhere, and the hi-hat, you know. And it was almost like he just didn't know what to do. He was completely lost. As soon as you took the cymbal and the hi-hat away, just completely lost. And after a lot of convincing, we actually got this pattern going, and it was starting to get much closer to how it would be in the studio.
Kate went into the townhouse studio in Shepherd's Bush, this time with another engineer, Hugh Padgham, who'd worked with the Police and Peter Gabriel, and he was quite famous with musicians for the expansive drum sounds that he created. Now this suited Kate perfectly, because she saw Sat in Your Lap as a very percussive track. Preston Hayward was the unfortunate drummer deprived of his cymbals, Jimmy Bain the bass player, and it was Jeff Downes on keyboards. This was also a crucial track in that it was Kate's first solo production.
I must admit that I was really pleased with the way everything went. It was very quick. The musicians were very friendly and respectful of me, which of course is something that I think is terribly important for a producer, that you do get respect from everyone you're working with. And in fact, it was going exactly the way I wanted it to, and I was hearing the sounds I wanted to as well. But I do feel that if you've got a really good engineer and you're working in a studio that has all the facilities working efficiently, really there are little problems. It's all down to the music and the construction of the ideas. Often an idea can take a long time to actually manifest, and I think that's where time goes. the ideas that did actually manifest were very good and well worth the effort, I think.
So there they were, from start to finish. Don't Push Your Foot on the Heartbreak, Babooshka, and Sat in Your Lap, Kate Bush from Small Beginnings. Thanks to Harry Doherty, who put it all together. And next week we look at Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, from small beginnings to triple platinum status.